Breaking news from Shams. Coach Tibbs has been relieved of his duties. He is out. He is no longer the head coach in New York. Dare I say Mike Malone incoming? I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. But while I understand why they did this, I don't agree with it. I really feel like they are looking for someone to blame. Yesterday, Cap and his lack of defense was the reason why they lost this series. They lost this series mainly because the Pacers are simply the better team. They never had enough to compete with this team and to beat them to go to the NBA Finals. That's point blank in the period. But the main thing is the trades. Whose idea was it to make these trades last season? You got rid of DiVincenzo. He's a huge part of that team. Well, he was defensively, and he also could put points on the board. You got rid of him. You got rid of Julius Randle. Now, I know he was hurt, for a big part of the season, obviously, but he also can put points on the board, and he also can play defense. Now, when you bring Cat in, you know that he's not a defensive player. He's an offensive player. He proclaims himself to be the best shooting big in the NBA. That's how he sees himself. So when you bring him in, you know that he's there for offense. He's not there for defense. He doesn't play defense. And if you had looked at him play in any one of the years in Minnesota, he's going into his 11th season in the NBA. He's never been a defensive player. So why are we blaming him for not playing defense? As if Jalen Brunson plays him defense. There was a lot of blame to go around. Mitchell Robinson should be in the gym working on his shooting. He averages no more than 5 or 6 points a game. He plays defense, but he's not really good offensively. Josh Hart is I love Josh Hart. He's a lot of heart, no pun intended. He's going to get in there. He's going to try to impact the game the best way you can. But you also gave up 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Whose bright idea was that? 4? Maybe 1 I can understand. Hell, maybe 2, and I'm being nice. But to give up 4, and then where was he during this series? Because he didn't really have too many great games. OG Anunoby, he had maybe 2 good games in this series. I don't know. So this the point the blame specifically is solely on Cat yesterday. Today is Coach Tibbs. What's going to be different? And what was the goal that they had in mind for the team this season? Because if you ask me, no one expected them to beat the Celtics. Nobody. Going into the series, everybody fully expected them to lose and be booted out. Instead, they sent home the reigning defending champs. That is no small feat, given the fact they only had 5 core players and no depth. They got close last year. They were hurt. They ran it back this season. It got even further. So there was definitely something to build on if you bring some more weapons in on that roster to help compete. And Coach Tibbs did kind of change, the way he felt about, his rotation. He brought some of the bench players in. We saw him make some adjustments, so he was getting around. I just feel like when you give all your assets and it doesn't work out, you should be looking within the organization at your GM and the choices that were made in terms of this roster. What's going to be different going forward? Or were you going to blame Jalen Brunson tomorrow? Or is it going to be Mikal Bridges? At some point, take some accountability and bring in some more weapons for this team. Jalen Brunson carries way too much of the load. And if they keep the roster the same way, I don't see them getting to the finals next season either.